Hello, hello. This is Danny Figueroa coming to you from my house. Wanted to share a video with you guys to show you how I'm going to be using Jamboard and some of its cool features. So just right off the bat, I used to not be a fan of Jamboard, and then I got a Samsung Galaxy tablet with a stylus pen, and I discovered that Jamboard can be really awesome if you have the right equipment. And so now I'm a huge fan of Jamboard and plan on integrating it into my high school math classes. And so I'm going to show you some things about Jamboard that I really like. So let's open up a new Jamboard. Okay, so if you have a stylus and a touchpad, you can really use Jamboard to write notes, to show examples. You might be solving a certain type of problem in class, and in Jamboard, you will be able to write just as you would be on a whiteboard. So in essence, you can use Jamboard as a whiteboard, but not only that, afterwards, you can save the notes and share them with the students. So that's a really cool feature. So first, I'm going to show you some features that I really like about Jamboard. So I'm going to show you this thing called the assistive drawing tools. And so if we click down here, we see that there's 3 different options for these assistive drawing tools. And what this is, it's this smart technology that allows you to, for example, handwrite a word, and then it turns it into a nice font for you. So that's going to be that first option. So let's go ahead and pick that one, and I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to write in my own messy handwriting, and then Jamboard knows that I'm trying to write hello, and it turns it into a nice font. So let me try that one more time. Nice, even though that was very messy. There we go, beautiful. And so that's called that's one of the assistive drawing tools that you have available. Next, you also have an assistive drawing tool function that takes rough sketches of basic shapes and then turns them into nicer looking, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying that. So that's this middle one, so let's go ahead and select that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a right triangle, and just like that, the technology built into Jamboard turns it into a very nice looking right triangle. Lastly, and this is just kind of a fun, cool feature, this third option that you see down here, that allows you to make a rough sketch of something, like a cat in this case, and then it'll give you options for what it thinks you're trying to draw, and you can select those. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to try to draw a dog. So let's see how that works. So that is a very bad sketch of a of a dog. But as you can see, Jamboard recognizes what I'm trying to draw, and it gives me some options. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click on the dog. And so now I have a nice sketch of a dog. So really cool features. In any case, since I teach math, I'm going to be going over a lot of different problem types. And, I've been using a document camera to sort of show the examples and show how to solve these different problems. But the problem with the document camera is that sometimes, just because of the internet connection, the image appears blurry for the students, and they can't quite tell what I'm trying to communicate to them. So that's one of the drawbacks. The other drawback is if you have a document camera on your table, a lot of times just the normal movement of your arm causes it to shake. And so the camera shakes, and that also causes the image to come out blurry. But with Jamboard, neither of those problems exist, because it's a digital tool and the students will receive the images just as they appear on our screen. So let me show you an example. So let's, for example, say that in my geometry class, we were studying the Pythagorean theorem. So here we have a right triangle, and I'm gonna write some values in on the sides of this right triangle, and then we're gonna solve it so that you can see, just to get an idea of how I'm gonna be using it in my class and how you may be able to use it in your class. So let's say we don't know what that is. So I'm just going to call that X. And let's say we know that has a side of 6, and this has a side of 5. By the way, this is probably not possible. So actually, just to make it a little bit more realistic, let's change that up. Actually, no, you actually could. So that's fine. We'll just go with these numbers. I just made them up. It doesn't really matter. I'm not actually trying to teach you the Pythagorean theorem. I'm really just trying to show you how you can use Jamboard. So let's just go with it. So we know that the Pythagorean theorem says that in a right triangle, the sides are related to the hypotenuse with this equation. Let me actually get rid of this. So we know that the sum of the two shorter sides squared is equal to the longest side squared. So that's what a squared plus b squared equals c squared means. By the way, that a looks like a 9, so I can just select the eraser and just fix that up if I wanted to. So that's really cool. So what I would do next is I would actually show the students how to solve the problem. So let's say x, we're going to say x is a, so we're just going to leave that as x squared. B is 5, so that's going to be 5 squared. And then C is 6, so that's going to be 6 squared. So now after this, we would, of course, simplify what we can. And then, of course, I'm now going to solve this equation. We're left with x squared equals 11. We take the square root of both sides. Sorry, that's very messy. Maybe I can do it over. Jamboard allows you to just undo things. That still looks pretty bad, but I'm just going to continue just for the sake of time. And so we get x equals plus or minus square root 11. But of course, because this is a triangle, we would only keep the positive answer. Again, I'm not trying to actually teach you the Pythagorean theorem. I just wanted to show you guys some of the things that you can do with Jamboard. Once I'm done with this, instead of erasing all of this, I'd rather keep it because, as I said, this gets saved and then I can share it with the students. And so instead of erasing the things that are on this page, I can just click here on the top and it gives me a fresh sheet and I can try a different problem. So Jamboard, really cool. And I hope that you found this video helpful. Thank you guys.